One of my favorite things is to see the liberal media fail to such a degree, like what happened to Rachel Maddow and MSNBC the other night. Rachel Maddow, in a 20-minute rant, trying to tie relations between Trump and Russia by claiming they are colluding, by claiming Trump has Russia business ties overseas, and therefore all subsequent political decisions and policies that he administers will be to benefit him and the Russian government. So she was doing her rant like she usually does, and then she mentioned that she has a copy of Donald Trump's 2005 tax returns, and she's going to release them to everybody. Well, here's where she failed. What she did, instead of just releasing them spontaneously and getting the reaction she was hoping for, she asked the White House for a comment. Well, the White House then knew what she was going to do. They knew she was going to release Donald Trump's 2005 tax returns. So what Trump did, being the master manipulator of the media, he released his copies of those tax returns to all the major media organizations, to Fox, to CNN, The Hill. Essentially what he did, he completely diminished the potential sensationalism that Rachel Maddow's story would have pertained. But when you actually then look at his tax returns, you will realize that whatever Rachel Maddow was trying to prove in her show would have completely failed. Because it showed in 2005 that Donald Trump made $150 million, more than $150 million, and he paid $38 million of it in income taxes. He paid more in taxes than Obama did. He paid more in taxes than Bernie Sanders did. So it's really funny, especially people like Bernie Sanders who claim Trump is one of the 1% that doesn't pay taxes. It's funny to hear that Trump paid more taxes than him. And how did MSNBC obtain these leaked documents, these tax returns? Well, they said they found them in a mailbox. So the theory is, now this is conjecture, this is not proven, but this would make sense. Because we know that Trump is very good at disillusion. He gets people to look one way while he goes the other way. So the GOP healthcare bill, which is a failure, which is causing a lot of controversy, everyone's talking about that. And the regressive media is using that as a narrative to push that Donald Trump is incompetent. Well, this leak, if Donald Trump sent his tax returns, he could have picked his best tax returns in the last decade. If he sent that to Rachel Maddow, that would allow him to keep on reinforcing the narrative that White House leaks are extremely serious. And this gives him more support to root out these potential individuals who are leaking this material in his administration. And at the same time, it's getting the media and getting the public's attention off of the horrible GOP healthcare bill. It's genius. If Donald Trump did this, if this is indeed true, then this is strictly genius. Because everything that he wants done, if you believe that the GOP healthcare bill is a failure and the Democrats are using that as evidence to help get more Democrats elected in the midterms, then you have to believe that if Donald Trump did do this, that totally is going to help the Trump administration and Republicans. Because nobody is even going to talk about the healthcare bill that much. They are more focused now on Donald Trump and his tax returns. But the tax returns turn out to be nothing. It's even funny, too, because Van Jones, who is incredibly biased, who is incredibly racist, even said that there was nothing in these tax returns that would have warranted such a huge sensational story. Rachel Maddow essentially gave Donald Trump the evidence that he's been claiming during the campaign, that he does pay taxes. He tries really hard not to pay taxes, but he does pay taxes. And there was no collusion with Russia in those tax returns. And there was no 0% tax rate in those tax returns. Everything he said in the election was proven true by Rachel Maddow. And what's so great about it is that this probably wouldn't have happened if she actually wouldn't have been so greedy and wanted the attention before she released the material. By telling the White House what she was going to do, she essentially completely ruined her own story and, in fact, helped ratings of her competitors because they released the story before she did. So MSNBC and Rachel Maddow were doing catch-up, trying to catch up to Fox News and CNN. You read some of these tweets and you read some of these comments down below, and it's great because she failed. I mean, MSNBC is incredibly biased. They're worse than CNN. They're like the Huffington Post of TV. And you have people like Chris Hayes and Chris Matthews and Lawrence O'Donnell. I got to tell you this. Lawrence O'Donnell, then, I heard him talking to Rachel Maddow about this. And to try to savior what credibility they have left, which they don't, but for whatever credibility they have left, Lawrence O'Donnell said, and this proves that Donald Trump was lying because he said he pays millions or hundreds of millions of dollars in taxes. It's like, wow. You are really, really desperate now. So I found it funny. MSNBC are a bunch of jokes. Rachel Maddow is a joke and a sexist. And it's funny. It's funny watching the regressive media completely destroy their own credibility and then play catch up and try to defend themselves. It just doesn't work. And I'm done.